Sunshine, over to you, brother.
No, it's all good, man. This point we didn't get the win, of course. I want Man United to win every game, so it is what it is. I think Ipswich were unlucky today. I think they should have gone away with 3 points if we're being fair and honest. Onana made some David De Gea saves tonight, which you cannot fault him for. So, yeah, for me personally, looking at it, it's just like disappointed for Amorim and the team that they didn't deserve the point, in my opinion. But then football is not based on the amount of clear-cut chances you have. You've got to put the ball in the back of the net, as I infamously or famously keep saying. And Ipswich didn't do that for whatever reason. Their shot choices were poor and whatever. So you walk away with a point, which I think overall tends to be a fair result. In terms of Amorim, the only criticism I can have of him is obviously the starting lineup. But I feel like I have some form of understanding. Not saying I'm right or wrong in understanding, but understand why Ahmad ended up being on the right and not on the 10. And I think it's highly to do with the centre-backs missing and the fact that what he wants from his wing-backs. And I've said this before about Ahmad, my star boy, as you know, defensively, he is good. Like we've seen him track back when he's been in the wing position and win the ball back, and he keeps it very well and moves it well out of possession in tough areas. And I think as a wing-back, he needs that. So maybe in the summer or even January, depending on Ineos, we may see something of that nature if a player of that profile comes up for the left-hand side. And the reason I say left-hand side is because I believe Mazraoui will go to that right-hand side. And I do believe maybe Luke Shaw will play left centre-back, which we've seen he's been wicked at, in my opinion. Yeah. But I do believe the left wing-back was the situation. And obviously no Martinez. Shaw's just come back from injury. I think it was by default, based on abilities in that area, as to why he chose Ahmad and maybe not Anthony. And the reason I don't believe he chose Anthony is because I don't believe he's as strong going forward as Ahmad is. I think Ahmad is more all-rounder for that period. So I wouldn't look too deep into Ahmad playing right wing. I do believe Griggs is right and say he'd be on the right 10. In the right 10, it's quite evident that he has that. And Garnacho maybe making cameos off the bench if it is Bruno in that situation. We saw he enjoys the idea of Mason Mount, which is a shock to everyone. Again, I had the same opinion under Ten Hag that I don't rate Mason Mount, but I understand why he's in the team from a pressing perspective. And if it works, then you're going to get the best out of him. Doesn't mean I still rate him because I don't as a footballer, but I can understand his importance for the team. So that'll be interesting as well to see. In terms of the game, I don't know. It was I just wanted Amorim to get his win, and I didn't want to lose. And I think every fan, from a fan's perspective, just felt like let's just get the win and enjoy it and like be happy. But like you say, Terry, it's the reality of the situation. And shout out to you guys, sorting out those trolls, because at this stage I'm getting to a stage where I just don't think people have ever attempted to try and be successful at anything in life genuinely, and I don't think people have genuinely gone down a route of trying to be. How can I put it? Try to have a perspective, shall we say, a perspective that is more in alignment with the reality of hardship and hard work and patience and stuff. It's most definitely not an excuse, but I think that might be a Gen Z thing. I may be an older now. It is what it is.
You know what the matter is? I don't even think we're at the point of needing patience, bro. Can the brother get 5 games? Can we see what he's saying first?
No, it is this. It's not even a case of like he don't need patience. He don't even need 5 games. I think the reality of the situation is anyone. I know Terry's talking from experience, and some of you guys. If anyone has been into a situation where you're trying to be great at something, and you've got a project to work on, in order for your ideas to be of quality, it has to have gone into some deep planning. That deep planning cannot take over a week. Otherwise, your plan's probably shit for the end goal.
And plus, in this circumstance, you can plan and plan and plan and plan, but until you start seeing your players in real games, because sport's so interesting. What is it Mike Tyson used to say? Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Today is an example of being hit in the face. It's okay, well, he looked really good in training. In a real game, not so much. And it's, we all talk about, we want to see people given opportunities on meritocracy. Well, we don't know how good Johnny Evans looked in training this week. So maybe he got the chance, but then today he lets up and the manager says, Rashford as an example, we don't know. And again, I still don't like Rashford as a 9, really. I thought maybe with someone near him today, but in reality, they weren't that close.
I don't think that was Rashford's fault today, personally. Like, it wasn't great, but like after that goal that he got, like, what more did we do to help get our strikers and our core players into that area again.
I don't believe he's an out and out striker. I don't believe he has the natural abilities to play in that role as according to someone we could get in the transfer market who's of a higher ability. That's not disrespect him. I just think he's past that. I just think he's past that coaching level. He's 27 now in his prime years of football. I think he's past that how can I put it? He's past that threshold.
Where he can be developed into something else. Yeah.
He's in his best position.
I agree.
I'm happy with I think Amorim's going to be great, but I got no lie.
Yeah, it's just about today. Like Beezy said, we really struggled to, especially in the first half, to break their press. You know, like we really, really struggled. And as much as Rashford's not a 9 or Xerxes not good enough or Højlund's too raw and all of these different reasons why our strikers are struggling, how are we even going to see how good they actually are if we're not giving them chances to score from, you know? So hopefully that changes.
I get that. A few comments here that have come through. This is an interesting one. It says Terry said United would make the top 4 before this game. That's not true. I said potentially top 6 we could make if we kick on, but I think we'll make the top 8. I did not say top 4. That is, I've asked a question to Mo and Hassam last week. Do you think United could? That's a fundamentally different thing from me stating we can.
It's still possible.
It's possible mathematically. I just don't think we'll do it. Slot doing fine with no signings. So based on that though, are you saying that Liverpool, Man United squads are of the equal level? This is the problem when Liverpool fans try and use that as a flex, comparing it to United. So you're stating your squad and my squad are the same. Okay, cool. We'll take your word for it. We can all. You don't believe that, do you? So it's a crazy comparison. Josh here says, don't explain to these snowflakes who grew up in a microwave society. Any type of development takes the same habits over a period of time to build sustainable consistency. Well, you've seen, I know they lost some players, but that's why you've seen that with Crystal Palace. Their manager, Oliver, is it Glasner?
Glasner.
He was being used as the rationale for what a manager should look like 2 or 3 months in. Why is no one using him as the benchmark for managers now? Because they're in a relegation fight and it doesn't suit the narrative. Again, and Barada has said it, I don't want a team that spikes for 6 months and wins a trophy and falls off. I want a team that grows and becomes sustainable. And very few things in, like, what's the expression? Like nothing worthwhile is easy. Maybe that isn't quite the saying, right? But
nothing easy or nothing hard is easy, and nothing easy is worth it, or something like that.
I forgot the saying now, and we're all
No, we know what you're trying to say. Like if it's worth it, it is something you work hard for. You can't get instant gratification for something that's really worth it, you know. So
nothing worthwhile comes easy, is the saying, and I think that's it though. The same with sustainability. People were calling for Marasca's job in pre-season just after joining Chelsea. The same people are praising Chelsea now. Rome wasn't built in a day. And
that's a good one.
Rowan, right? It's pronounced Rowan, not Runin.
No, Ronin.
Ronin. Okay, sorry. Ronin. Got it. Boom. Ronin. And you know what's interesting about it? I'm getting banter from a Chelsea friends of mine. And I'm like, remember what you were defending your Chelsea rebuild 2 years ago till now. But we're literally right at the start of it. I just love that the people don't keep the same energy, man. And yeah, you guys are right. Ipswich should have won the game today.
Omari Hutchinson was fire, by the way.
It was.
That goal.
But let's keep this a buck. If Højlund had missed those chances that the lap had, nobody would be sitting there going, you guys should have won today. They'd be saying, Højlund shit, bro, for not scoring. So I know, that's why troll-wise, I can't take it seriously, because you're always looking for the negative. You wouldn't be objective in the other direction. I've got a question about this. I want to go to Griggs. They didn't even give Amorim new manager bounce. Do you want new manager bounce? Or do you think that could create unrealistic expectations?
I mean, I kind of go with the latter. I mean, I wanted to see a little bit better today. I was trying to look from a tactical perspective. I do think that in the midfield, I think he's gonna have to change some things up. I do think we get outnumbered very easily. I think, like we mentioned, Omari Hutchinson, he was finding spaces in the pockets. Especially the first half, he was finding a lot of spaces. So obviously some tweaks, and obviously winning would have been nice. But if we won, let's say 2-1, right? Let's say we score that second goal, and we still play shit, and we do that for 4 games in a row. That counts as a new manager bounce. But you're not really learning much. I think you need to go through the teething process, as they say. And today we went through the step 1 of the teething process. Thursday is going to be step 2 because it's Europa League game. Another game you have to win because I think we're 15th in that competition, and we need to pick up a couple wins to get into that top 8, so we don't have to play a 2-legged playoff fixture in like February. That's going to add more games. So yeah, would I like a manager bounce? Yeah, but I've seen other managers that have been successful that don't go through a manager bounce. I also don't think United have the squad where it's like ready. Like I think when Ole had his manager bounce, it was like kind of players that were. It was a nice squad with players that were just like the morale was down. This is a squad that, let's be real, we spent 600 mil on this squad, and it might be the worst collection of 600 mil I have ever seen spent in my life, because United have no dual winners. We just have no dual winners at all. It is bad. So he needs to just keep working and just find solutions. I think he said it too, as the post-match quotes are coming out. He's like, we're going to suffer. We might win some games. We might lose some games. Today, we're thankful we didn't lose because Onana stepped up, right? And I think he mentioned that earlier in the week. There's going to be games where we have to defend in our box to be able to get a result, and we have to defend in front of Onana. And it's going to be like that. The squad is not good enough, and there's a lot of stuff to fix.
And really quickly, this is time for all the Ten Hag outers to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Morally consistent. People said, his first season was really good, and then he fell off. And people said, you know what he should have done? He should have stuck to his ideas and played and sort of developed his style of play, and then gradually got to where we wanted to get to, as opposed to deviating from his style of play and then flapping when he didn't have another plan. Now's your time to prove that you meant what you were saying, because he's saying that I'm trying to build to an idea. And we're gonna get there, but it might take some time. So you might have to go through the pain of, well, these players ain't really got the grasp of the idea yet. This is just what it is.
But the thing is, we all know they're liars. Most fans are liars. Most football fans are liars, bro. They will sit there and say to your face, I'm going to be different this time. Me included, Terry included, all of us included. I'm going to be different this time. I'm going to make sure that we give the manager time. I want to make sure that all the players I don't like, they get gone, and I just support the team. You know what I mean? All of these things. As soon as 5 losses on the bounce happens, which, by the way, we actually haven't experienced 5 losses on the bounce. I just want to say that. But 5 losses on the bounce happens, and then it's, manager out. I want this to, I want that. So we all.
What I did find interesting today online is when we say people are liars. Like Amorim lying here, Terry, talk about the game. We've spent 50 minutes up until this subject talking about the game, what we like, what we didn't like. Football fans are liars. You've sat here for an hour nearly of us talking about the game, what we liked and didn't like, and now you're telling us to do that. But I don't want to bounce. I want to win games, but I don't want to bounce, because I think Ollie's bounce created in all of us, we got sucked in by it. I don't think there's a Man United fan on earth who wasn't dragged in by it. You just thought basically 9 wins. It was almost like 9 wins out of 9 or 8 wins out of the first 9 games. In some of those matches, we were looking brilliant. And it was a case of, wow, this could be something special. And nobody, and by the way, it's not our job as fans to look into this. The club should have done it. Nobody was really looking at the level that Ollie really was. And once the dust settled, we were left with I think a very good man manager, someone that loved the club, someone that was probably, the players really got behind, but an individual that just wasn't of the elite level tactically. What I want is to win, but I don't want it to be a bounce. I don't want it to just be the players running through brick walls and we get through in moments. I want there to be genuine improvement. So I do get the comment was a little bit flippant and a little bit sarcastic and a bit of a joke, but I'd love us to win 9 games, 10 games on the bounce from here. I'm not saying I don't want that, but there's a part of me that's a little bit worried and a little bit cautious that as fans, we start to overlook the actual issues at the club. There's going to be peaks and troughs. Even, we could win our next 5 games, just as an example. That doesn't mean we're fixed. There's going to be, I think the reason I don't want the bounce isn't because I don't want the wins. It's because I know what comes from a fan base, and then the media build it up, and then it all gets dragged down again. And I think it's about people, win, lose, or draw, for a period of time, being critical, but keeping their feet firmly on the ground. And if we have a crazy bounce, people are going to be out there saying crazy stuff within a week or two. I don't want that.
Amorim said it. He's collecting data, and we want true data. We don't want false data. So if it was a bounce, we'll be getting false data everywhere. Johnny
Yeah.
Evans might have to get another contract because he's been amazing.
Right.
You know, we keep
Yeah,
Casemiro and
yeah.
Eriksen in the midfield. We want true data, and we're getting that. True data can come from wins. I'm not saying it can't. I'm not saying we have to lose every game to get this true data. We can get them in multiple situations, but we need proper data for this man to analyze, and we got that today. If we hopefully win the next game, he gets more data and more and more and more. We just can't have our head in the clouds. You know?
But Standard FC are coming for you. Can't use words like data because Standard FC don't think that's what winners. Pep uses it, but winners don't. Basically, do you know what I mean? Pep can because he's a winner. All other managers that haven't won what Pep have can't use data.